Have you noticed anything in regards to nasal breathing helping with something like allergies? I know for myself, if I'm out and about and then I get home, my nose will be stuffed up. And so when I hit the bed, I'm like, oh, there's no way I can tape my mouth right now. But then I focus on just breathing through my nose, and then like those pathways kind of open up, and it's like, whoa, like what changed? Like something weird happened. And then I can, tape my mouth for the rest of the night. But have you been able to kind of find a correlation between those two?
Yeah, so the nose is a use it or lose it organ. The less we use it, less we're going to be able to use it. So much so that down at Stanford, I was talking to Dr. Ann Kearney, and she had gotten curious about this as well. So she had chronic nasal breathing problems. She had allergies, bunch of other issues, and she was slated for surgery. And this is a clinician, that this is an expert in the field. And she thought, I wonder if I just start to breathe through my nose a little more, what would happen? So she looked at records from people who had laryngectomies, which is a hole drilled in their throat because they had mouth cancer or some other issue. She found that between 2 months and 2 years, their noses were 100% clogged. And she thought if that were the case, if she just conditioned herself to breathe through her nose more, would it open? And she became an obligate nasal breather after a couple of weeks. Again, not saying this is going to work for everyone, but our noses are covered with erectile tissue. They're covered with the same erectile tissue as where, and it responds in the same way. So the more you use your nose, the more it will become conditioned to breathe more easily. And next time you have allergies, to answer your question directly, absolutely breathing techniques, breathing through the nose, breathing slowly, breathing in a paced manner can definitely have an effect on allergies. Yeah. And a little trick, next time your nose is stuffed, calmly exhale, hold your nostrils shut, hold your breath until you feel a pretty potent sense of air hunger. When it's time to breathe again, breathe through your nose. And then take about 30 seconds worth of breaths and repeat that about 5 to 6 times. And I think you'll be amazed how quickly your nose will clear up. That congestion will go away.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was really curious about this. You were mentioning how, our face has changed because of like a lot of things currently. Could be our diet, could be, looking down all the time. But for you yourself, have you done other things as far as the realm of the foods you eat and the type of foods you eat? Since, modern individuals, we eat a lot of soft foods that mess with the structure of our face over time. Have you changed your diet in any way that has allowed you to, over a longer period of time, see a difference in your facial structure? And also, from your years of, starting to focus and practice nasal breathing, have you noticed a visible difference in the way your face is structured? Just because, when you're reading on forums about things like mewing and all this stuff, people tend to say as an adult, it's very hard to do that.
It is hard to do that when you're an adult because things are more set, right? Your skeleton is much more set, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. So a lot of these problems, if we were just able to diagnose them and intervene on them early, we wouldn't have these issues, right? A lot of this is tied to chewing stress when we're young. Infants who are breastfed versus those who are bottle fed will have be much more less apt to suffer from snoring and sleep apnea. We know this. Their faces will grow differently. If you are pulling, like breastfeeding takes a lot of stress, right? So, and when you are quickly developing, if you're doing that every 2 hours or whatever, you are literally pulling your face out. You're allowing your mouth to grow wider. So anecdotally, I've heard from so many friends who've had a few kids, and some of them were bottle fed, some of them were breastfed. The ones who were breastfed don't need any braces. They're perfectly straight teeth. The ones who were bottle fed all need braces. So I was bottle fed. I asked my mom about it. She's like, no one was breastfeeding when you were born, So this isn't pointing fingers or blaming anyone. I'm a dude. The last thing I'm going to do is tell people that they need to breastfeed, every 2 hours. Not going to happen. But what I am going to say is that, if you think about it, the body, when it's young, is developing. You're creating the foundation for how you're going to look and how you're going to form later on. And so the more positive impact inputs you have, the better you're going to form. And that's certainly the case with breathing. So now more directly to your question, I'm really rambly today. Sorry about that. So when we're adults, like everything's set, nonetheless, we can still change our facial structure. We can influence the bone mass in our faces through chewing stress. And if you have a clean thumb, no COVID thumbs here, you can place your thumb to the roof of your mouth, and right in the middle of your roof of your mouth is a suture. So it's a crack. It's the same crack that's in your head, right? We have all these different cracks in our head, which allow our skulls to expand. We have one in our mouth, and at virtually any age, you can influence that to open up a little more, and you can widen your palate. So when you talk about these people who are mewing, I've seen some of that crap on YouTube, and some of it's lighting, and some of it might be even digital manipulation. But I'm convinced that some of it is actually happening. What you're doing is you're building musculature, but you're starting to influence the size of your palate. So it's an easy thing to do. Just measure before and after doing mewing. Instead of saying I look better, I breathe better, measure it, and then it's objective. And that's one thing I wish more people would start doing. Do what I did and take a CAT scan a year before and a year after, and then you have measurements. I gained about 15% more space in my airway after a year. And I'm middle-aged, I'm old. So that's inspiring that anyone can really do this if you spend the time to do it.
Is there some particular techniques that you utilize, like upon waking up every morning or before going to bed? Is there anything in particular that you practice in terms of breathing, or are you more kind of along the lines of just continue to work on nasal breathing throughout the day?
Yeah, it has to do with the latter of the two. I've been super insanely busy. When I calm down, I'm going to be incorporating more breathing exercises throughout the day, throughout the week. I still do it I'll do Wim Hof method, which you call it Wim Hof method. This stuff's been around for thousands of years. I'll do that about 3 or 4 times a week. I'll do some Sudarshan Kriya. I'll practice breathing slowly. But most of all, most benefits come from breathing normally. And what I mean by that is breathing through your nose, not over breathing, focusing your breath, breathing deep, breathing light. That's where most people are going to get most benefits. You can do these other practices, and there's definite benefits tied to those as well. But the point is, we've been breathing so dysfunctionally for so long, and people don't realize it because this is an unconscious act. But once you take control of it, it really transforms your body and your life in so many ways.